It's another hot one in the shadow of Lady Liberty. Game number 3, Sox and Yankees, as the Sox try to win their 5th consecutive road series. This one against a surefire playoff team in the American League here in New York. Welcome to Yankee Stadium on NBC Sports Chicago, home of the authentic fan. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you, and the Sox will be without tonight, at least in the starting lineup, Tim Anderson. He had the late collision with Nicky Delmonico yesterday. Ankle swelled up. He is available but not starting.
Unfortunately, Tim was really putting together a wonderful year. It's not a serious injury. He's going to be back in the not-too-distant future, but he lost a part of the ball game last night. He's going to lose most of the ball game here tonight, if not all of it, and there's the collision. It looked for a while like Nicky was hurt a lot worse than Tim. He had a hard time getting up. When he finally did, he got up, stretched himself out, went back. There's nothing wrong with him, but Tim has got a couple of problems that are going to be resolved soon.
Second start this year for Reynaldo Lopez against the Yankees. This one on the road. First time, he was tremendous.
Last time out, he was absolutely brilliant, going 7 innings, and the Yankees couldn't do anything with him. They only managed 1 run. So we look back at the stuff. It was really crisp. The breaking ball was outstanding. 4 hits in 7 innings. He used 98 pitches to get there, walking 2, fanning 6. Ronaldo had it all going for him, and hopefully tonight here at Yankee Stadium he can duplicate that. As you see, CC Sabathia is the man who is going to provide the opposition. This year at home, he's been brilliant. 5-1, his ERA below 2.5. Ronaldo, you see last time out, awfully good. And he throws very well against the American League East, which is a very tough division, so hopefully more of the same tonight.
Sox and Yankees. Sox trying to stand in the way of New York before Boston comes to Chicago to start a 4-game series tomorrow. Close and late throughout this series. Moncada, a big hit 2 nights ago. Neil Walker walked it off yesterday. Who will have the late magic tonight? We'll find out. New York, Yankee Stadium, the site. Game number 3. Sox trying to win the series against the Pinstripers, and doing it without Tim Anderson today. He was in a collision with Nicky Delmonico. That left ankle was pretty well swollen last night, and Nicky's concern, and Tim's as well, was that that swelling might not go down. It has. Tim went to Ricky Renteria and said, I'm available to pinch hit for you. I'm not going to fight you about the lineup because so many people do that typically, but I'm available to hit if you need me coming up later on in the game. And here is that White Sox lineup. It's brought to you by the Webb Auto Group, the best lineup of Chevys and Fords and Mitsubishis, Genesis and Hyundais at the best price. Go to webcars.com. So it's Engel at the top spot against the left-hander, Rondon at shortstop, Garcia, Smith, Davidson, Moncada, Delmonico in against the lefty, Lamar and Sanchez.
Defensive setup for the Yankees, presented by UI Health. And this is how Aaron Boone's going to put them out there, with Gardner, Hicks, and Stanton in the outfield. Walker, Torres, and Bird in the infield. Austin Romine behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher, the big man, CC Sabathia. 3.30 ERA, his 24th start. Gone is the fiery fastball, but he's got pinpoint control.
He's got a 3.19 ERA his last 6 starts as he gets strike 1 from Adam Engel. We are underway just before 6:10 tonight Central Time, and we thank you for joining us wherever you may be taking in this game 3. Adam Engel 4 for 8 in this series as he takes a strike to the edge. So that speaks to the control of Sabathia as he plopped it right where he wanted it.
Well, the first slider was in on the hands of Adam Engel, and the second one was a backdoor slider, breaking it off the plate to the middle of the plate, and right-hand hitters have a tendency to give up on that.
His 0-2 is there. Strike 3, stuffed on the inside corner with that cutter, and 1 gone.
If anything, CC is more aggressive these days than he was when he had the great stuff. Quick hands by Romine. Watch him. He brings it back and buys the call from Brian Knight. So good way for Sabathia to start. Not a good way for Engel, who is leading off tonight.
Yeah, Adam at the top, considering his recent success, and now Rondon batting second. Sox with a makeshift lineup tonight. Polka is out, but Romine with magician's hands on that last pitch for strike 3.
He bought the call. There's no doubt the pitch was off the plate.
That's a strike to the fringe. 1-1 on Rondon, who reached base 3 times on Saturday and has swung it well this year, whether in the majors or in AAA with Charlotte, where he had 18 home runs.
I was going to say, he has deceptive power. Doesn't appear to be that powerful a guy, but he truly is.
Blooped foul. And 1-2. So if you're looking for fastballs tonight, you're going to get them, whether he cuts it or otherwise. CC Sabathia, predominantly a fastball pitcher. Slider at 31%. The average against that this year is 270, so he's gettable. The changeup 11% of the time. I'm told by Chris Kampka that Pac-Man is eating the sliders and changeups on that graphic he built, and he is once again accurate. That graphic is always brought to you by Chris Kampka's Bag of Pizza, a new sponsor on our telecast.
And a good one. Sabathia got to the major leagues with the Indians back in 2001. And since that first year, when he went 17-5, he's been a dominant pitcher.
That year, 10 years ago, when he went to Milwaukee, he wanted the ball basically every 3 days, it seemed like. And he was awesome for the Brewers to get them to the playoffs.
But look, he was 6-8 with the Tribe that year. His ERA was up close to 4. Then when he went to Milwaukee, he went 11-2 with an ERA 165 in 17 starts. So things went pretty well for him.
Remember watching that and thinking, he wins every couple of days. I mean, he single-handedly helped drag them to the playoffs that year.
Yeah, it was a remarkable year for him. He completed 7 of his 17 starts with the Brewers, which is, I mean, it's otherworldly. He completed 10 games that particular season through 251 innings. He was a horse.
2-2 is up and out. 3-2.
Sabathia was signed by the Yankees as a free agent back on December 18th of 2008. So he's been a Yankee and in those pinstripes for a long time. Best year with them, 21-7 in 2010.
Strikeout on the cutter at 90, and back-to-back punch-outs for Sabathia.
When you know a man's around the plate a lot, you have a tendency to expand that strike zone. This is borderline, maybe outside corner, maybe a bit outside. The end result is a missed swing anyway, so it's 2 up and 2 strikeouts.
Well, his season high in strikeouts came against the Sox. That was on the 7th of this month, 22 days ago. 12 strikeouts.
Well, it's not surprising, as the Sox tied with San Diego for the most strikeouts in the major leagues, and pretty much a lock to break their all-time strikeout record.
Contact from Avi, right center field, and Hicks, who had a big home run last night. It's a 1-2-3 first for Sabathia. Reynaldo Lopez at Yankee Stadium after this. Auto Group goes like this. Gardner at the top, then Stanton, who had a late hit last night. Hicks and Duhar, Walker the game winner yesterday. Torres, Bird, Romine, and Torres, as Stanton continues to have that number under his face.
The defensive setup for our Sox, presented by UI Health, and this is how Ricky Renteria is going to put them out there tonight. It's Lamar, Engel, and Garcia in the outfield. Yomer, Jose, Yuan, and Matt in the infield. Kevin Smith gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Reynaldo Lopez. Lopez on for his 27th start, looking for his 5th win. There you look at the rest of the numbers, and left-handers have had a hard time with him, which is unusual for a right-handed pitcher. Opponents hitting .250, which is 9 hits per 9 innings. That's how it pencils out.
Last time out, the leadoff man walked, which eventually led to a Tigers lead, which Lopez left the game still with the Tigers in the lead. The Sox came back with 6 in the 8th and ended up winning that game, but Lopez was trailing as he departed. As Gardner takes ball 2, Lopez on that road again. He's 24 years old, Reynaldo Lopez. First full season in the majors for the Sox. Gardner to left field. Lamar is there to make the catch at the entryway to the warning track for out number 1. So last time out against the Tigers, eventually 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 111 pitches, and mostly fastball. Curveball's been rather dormant for him.
He threw a couple, dropped a couple over to left-handers, but for the most part, it's a disregarded pitch.
Stanton tattoos this ball, but it's foul. Number 300 will have to wait.
That was a fastball that was on the inside part of the plate, and it didn't fool Stanton at all. He got the good part of the bat on it. Shows you how quick that bat is.
Giancarlo Stanton, who hit his 299th home run on August the 18th against the Blue Jays. 9 games since, he has just 1 extra base hit. That was a double. He's slugging .200. Three balls and a strike from Lopez to Stanton. This Yankees team has by far the most home runs in Major League Baseball, and we saw it last night. That ball's leveled to third, and Sanchez. The 2 balls well struck and 2 outs.
I can say this is not a real good sign, despite the fact that there's 2 hitters and 2 outs. Both of them were hit right on the button, which shows that at least for the moment, and this could change, but the stuff is not fooling the Yankees. Very rarely. In fact, Ronaldo doesn't have a whole lot of guys square up the baseball, but both of these first 2 hitters did.
Those 2 swings were at 2-0 and 3-1 as well.
Yeah. Bad counts for the pitcher.
Ball 1 to Hicks, who drew a little attention yesterday with his bat flip on a ball that barely cleared the right field wall.
In this ballpark, you get to know that you don't have to hit much of it. You're going to get it out, especially to right and right center field. 314 down the right field line, but guys don't take advantage near as much of that as they do right center field, because that's very shallow.
Sign's been there since 1866. You should know it.
It's an old sign.
Right up the middle, off Lopez's glove, and Rondon. 3 seeds here in the first inning, but nothing to show for it for the Yankees.
Later in tonight's game.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on WTC Communications in Wilton, Iowa. We have some great friends in eastern Iowa. Tim Anderson getting ready for his Cuts for Kids over the weekend by measuring Yolmer's skull with his hand.
He's probably missing Yolmer. They've played side by side for most of this season.
A little absence makes the heart grow fonder moment there. Yeah. So Kevin Smith, who last we saw him in Detroit, he was hitting his first home run of the season. In a beautiful moment, he's wearing Webby on his back that day for Players Weekend. His fallen friend, Daniel Webb, former Sox pitcher who passed away in the offseason in an ATV accident. And Kevin, even that next day, was still very emotional about what happened in the moment there. You could see it in his eyes as he crossed home plate how important it was to him. got the lineup card, kept the bat, got the ball. And he'll think of that forever.
The last pitch was one of the few straight changes we're going to see Sabathia work with. He's got a good one. He just doesn't use it a lot.
That stayed up, and Kevin Smith beat him to right field. First base runner tonight for the Sox is Kevin Smith on a single here in the second. .38-year-old CC Sabathia. Saw him for so many years in Cleveland against the Sox, now with the Yankees. Davidson takes a strike. Matt 1 for 4 yesterday.
Quite obviously a different White Sox team facing Sabathia. However, lifetime against our Sox, CC 19-6, ERA of 3.73.
First base side and through. That's a base hit for Davidson. Kevin stops at second. And the throw into third. Back-to-back hits here in the second for the Sox.
Beating a left-hander to the arm side is always good, especially if he decides to stay away. That was a backdoor slider, and Matt just went that way with it. Good piece of hitting, putting a couple of runners on and nobody out.
A little hopscotch from Kevin there. Now Yoan Moncada, who had the big double against Tanaka a couple of nights ago to help the Sox win the opener. He takes ball one.
Well, Bird believes that he's going to bunt because he's in on the grass at first base. Walker even with the bag and a few steps off the line at third. If Yoan does bunt, he's going to be bunting on his own because Ricky's not giving him the bunt sign here.
To third, foul ball. Pat Hoberg with the call at third. That play is not reviewable.
Walker in fair territory. The ball, however, in foul territory, and that's how it's called.
One Sabathia to Moncada. And there's that cutter inside, 1-2. Moncada just 23 years old. Remember, he lost about a year and a half of baseball as he was coming over here stateside. So very early in his baseball career. Going to leave town just before the Brett Gardner bobblehead doll. It's too bad.
No.
Yeah, I know. We'll get you one.
We should have been able to get an advanced copy.
One-two. Moncada hits it in the air, center field. Hicks roams over to make the catch, no tag, and one gone. Well, Yankees come in 6.5 back of Boston. They were teetering back and forth, the Yankees and Red Sox last night. Yankees were down, ended up tying the game. Red Sox then trailed the Marlins. Red Sox came back and won that game, so it remains 6.5 the spread in that AL East.
Yankees trying to get within striking distance so that when they play the Red Sox 6 of the last 16 games, they can make a difference if they take 4 of 6. If you leave yourself in a situation where you got to sweep them in both series, it's not usually too doable.
Especially in that rivalry. I mean, I know the Red Sox have swept the Yankees this year, but rather unlikely to happen again either way, you'd imagine. Red Sox are down tonight 3-1 in the third. Derek Dietrich has homered off David Price, who's allowed 3 runs in 3 innings. 0-2 on Nicky. As he was coming in from left field on that collision with Tim Anderson, Nicky didn't seem like he could hear any call from Tim. It gets loud over there in left field, and that led to the miscommunication, which then became the injury. Two on, 1 out, 0-2. On the ground at third base, Walker to second. And the drop on the exchange, so that is an out. They do get Davidson at second. Torreyes was going to sling it to first to try for the double play, lost it on the transfer.
I think he was trying to just hold up because he saw that the slowly hit ball, there was really no chance for a double play, and the only thing you can do here is throw it away. So we'll watch it again. He goes to make the throw and then realizes, you know what, there is no play there. So as he was just then checking it up, that's when it dropped out.
Is that the tuck rule? I think that might just be an incomplete pass instead of a fumble. Hand was going forward.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah. I know they love hearing about the tuck rule here in New York because everything involving a Massachusetts team, big fans of. As Lamar takes a strike. Ryan 9 for 29 with the Sox this year after joining post his Minnesota tenure. Oh, and 2 on Lamar from Sabathia, who struck out 2 in the first inning. Smith at third, Delmonico at first. To right field. Stanton going back. He can't get there. It's off the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes a second throw to the plate. Is not in time. Ryan Lamar drives in a pair, and the Sox take the lead against Sabathia.
So 2 runs batted in, giving Lamar 13 this year. He goes the opposite way. Looked like a high cutter. We'll take another look at it. Stanton thought he was going to make the play at first, but then comes up a little short. The ball bounds away, and the Sox take an early lead.
I think if you watch the path that he took to that ball, he did not take the best angle of that baseball.
It wasn't very good. He started straight across and then realized, you know what, by going straight across, I got no chance to make this catch. So he eventually then took a more circuitous route and could not make the play.
Sox will take it. 2 runs in. Ryan Lamar at second base. Called a strike, and if Sabathia is going to get that call, he'll be very tough tonight. .12-pitch first inning for Sabathia. This is number 20 in the second. He was just dazzling in that first start against the Sox. 103 pitches. 22 swinging strikes. More than a fifth of his pitches were swinging strikes.
Larry Rothschild, fine pitching coach of these Yankees. Former major league manager is Larry.
In lovely Tampa.
Yeah. We talked about the career of Sabathia against our Sox, and he's been awfully good. Almost a strikeout an inning. See if we can improve on those 29 home runs. This is start number 37 for CC Sabathia against our Sox. Another absolutely amazing statistic is the fact that CC got drafted in the first round, 1998, 20th overall, first round pick of the Indians, started at Burlington. That was in 98. So here we are in 2018. That appears to me to be 20 years.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, nary not one relief appearance. Doesn't matter where he went, doesn't matter what he was doing at the time.
Even on rehab.
He has never thrown a relief appearance. It's pretty amazing, especially when you consider, he's been in the running for the playoffs quite a bit, and he's been a very good pitcher quite a bit. You would think somewhere along the line, after he got a start, maybe 2 or 3 days down the road, they used him out of the pen to try to get a couple of outs from him, but that has never been the case.
What's he doing with the dirt there?
He is trying to get his hand dry, because it's not enough just to wipe it on his uniform, so he puts dirt on it. They put the rosin bag out there ostensibly to stop you from having the problem of sweating, but that doesn't really do it. You can use shaving cream. There's some guys who use shaving cream to do it before they go out there, but if you're a guy who sweats a lot and you have 93 with a lot of humidity, which we have tonight, it's going to be a problem.
Sanchez left field and foul. Sabathia and Mark Burley drafted the same year.
Same year and very close to the same time. They were just 38 rounds apart.
Yeah, similar value.
In the meantime, Mark strung together a brilliant career forget about the 38th round pick, for any pick. It was a brilliant career.
Yeah.
CC just got a few more bucks.
CG fits too. He'll finish a game for you.
Oh, he will. Not so much anymore, but he was one of those guys that liked to complete what he started.
1-2 for Yolmer. Up and out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This Yankee team, as a team, has 2 complete games. Severino has 1, and Tanaka has the other. Severino 17-6. Pretty strong year for the right-hander.
Three balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers, by the way, I'm just thinking about the complete games here with New York. This is a signal that the win statistic has changed some. The Dodgers may go the entire season without a 10-game winner.
That's pretty astonishing.
The leader right now is Ross Stripling with 8, and he's on the DL.
Then the fact that he started the year out of the bullpen. So, that's for him. It's been a great year, but he hasn't been able to hold up. And when you come out of the bullpen and they ask you to pitch close to a full season, it's going to be difficult unless you've built up that kind of stamina, which allows you to go over 200 innings. And the only way to do that is to start and to throw over 200 innings.
But they haven't had that, and they haven't needed it for some reason this year. The Dodgers right in the hunt, and Sanchez pushes it wide at third. Yolmer, who got the day off the other day, trying to get his money's worth here with 10 pitches this at bat. Career-long 16-game on-base streak for Yolmer Sanchez, and in that streak he's been on 30 times, nearly twice a game. Sabathia really giving that hand to work on the pant leg before this pitch, and he misses high for ball 4. The Sox will send up a 7th batter in this 2nd inning.
And Yolmer will extend his streak.
17 straight on base game wise for Sanchez.
Looks like CC is going to wend his way over 30 pitches this inning.
He's dripping. It is a hot one out there.
That's not perspiration. That's from taking your hat and putting it in the water. The fountain.
Well, but some of it's sweat.
No,
though.
but I'm just saying they put it on the hat entirely, so when you reach up,
right.
Ostensibly you can get a little moisture, but you don't need any more moisture today.
Right.
He's got more moisture and he knows what to do with.
It's like squeezing a sponge.
Yeah.
Heat index right now 98 degrees.
But that's deceiving because it feels warmer than that.
It was just disgusting walking into the stadium. I walked about a half a block outside of here before the game started. Took an Uber over here. I was gross by the time I was in the stadium. It was half a block. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this was the last couple of days, in fact, were a little difficult.
0-1. Angle ropes it foul left side. Adams seen 5 pitches, all strikes from Sabathia. Sox with 2 runs in the inning on the Ryan Lamar 2-out double.
And this inning alone has cost CC 30 pitches, and he's not done yet.
Oh-2 is in the dirt. Just a heaping helping of pitches in this inning. This is going to be number 32 here in the second inning for CC Sabathia. One-two. Broken bat. Third base Walker sends it along to second to retire the side. But the Sox grab the first 2 runs of this game thanks to Ryan Lamar.
MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
When was the last time you visited Lady Liberty?
I've never been there.
What?
Never been there.
Jimmy, our cameraman, who ostensibly lives here.
I was trying to walk there one time, but couldn't do it.
You have rafts of bad ideas, and that is one of them. Jimmy, our cameraman, is saying that he's never been there either.
I could understand that. He doesn't know he's in New York.
Well, he's not allowed near there, I think. 2 balls and no strikes on Andujar. Look at that slugging percentage.
He's got 28 runs batted in this month, tied for first in the major leagues with Rougned Odor and his brother, who is Rougned Odor.
Yeah. The Roogies.
28 runs batted in August.
They could have their own award show, the Roogies.
They could. They might.
2-1 for Andujar. Hate to belabor the point, but you've got to figure, facing a lineup like this that hits home runs as prolifically as they do, that if you live 2-0, 3-1 as Lopez has tonight, he's going to get burned.
He get hit awfully hard in the first inning, so he's got to make an adjustment. The Yankees do remember, in the not too distant past, they faced him and they realized how good he was. 7 innings, just 4 hits and 1 run. So they went back, I'm sure, over the video, as they will do, figured out how Ronaldo got each and every one of them out. And they then make a new game plan against him, because the last one, whatever they had, didn't work.
Oh, off speed, strike 3. First punch out for Lopez. That was nifty.
And you've heard me say it a number of times, when he gets supreme confidence in this pitch right here, well, that's the change. But confidence in the change and the slider both. If he gets confidence in those pitches, he's going to be able to strike out a lot of guys, because that stuff is good enough to strike out a whole lot of guys. And now with Hermy coming out to talk with Ronaldo, this normally is not a real good thing.
Remember, there was that situation last year. Ricky Renteria asked him how one part of his body was doing. He said it was doing fine, and Ricky had guessed the wrong part of the body. So now I'm sure Ricky went out there and said, how do you feel?
Give me an evaluation of all parts of your body.
So they go check him out. Reynaldo Lopez, in the first inning, his four-seam fastball averaged about 91 miles an hour. So that's a significant drop off.
That certainly is, seeing as that he normally, and this is just a normal fastball, he averages about 95.5 miles an hour this year. But we've seen many starts where he's thrown 96, 97 consistently. This is just, to this point, not the night for it.
That one's 91. Here's the last pitch, and see if you see anything. Into right field. Avi back at the wall. Avi reaches up, and Avi's got the ball. He took it away for out number 2.
What a terrific play by Avi. He's probably just under 6'5" and needed every bit of that as he went back to the wall with perfect timing, and his leap was absolutely on time. Gorgeous play. We'll watch it again. He's back halfway on the track. He's up, and that ball is out of the ballpark if he doesn't make the play.
Yep.
He sees it in the glove, in the webbing of the glove, and it was good enough. Sox have been doing a whole lot of that recently, mostly by Adam Engel, but Avi gets in the game.
It would have been the second homer in as many at bats for Neil Walker, who had the game winner last night. Instead, it's simply out number 2 in the second inning.
Well played. I'm sure the fans are giving him a little guff out there.
They lead the league in guff given.
They do that.
Avi measures out number 3. Well, Adam Engel did it 3 times in 1 week, so Avi's got some climbing to do, as he did right here to take one from Walker. The applause sign is on from number 40. You're welcome. who got a visit from Herm Schneider and Ricky Renteria during that bottom of the second inning, getting a chat over on the bench. And we'll see if he does indeed come out for the third.
Looked like he was pointing to his shoulder a bit. Now, with most of the fastballs at 91 before that, that last fastball was 93. So perhaps he's starting to loosen up a bit. Hopefully that's the case.
Rondon goes after the changeup, and Aldo Lopez with that hoodie on.
Barely wants to stay loose.
Rondon puts some very majestic swings on foul balls. Little pirouette along with that one as Lopez stays hydrated. Brian Ball, Sox assistant athletic trainer, in the background as well. Neil Walker has out number one. CC Sabathia, nearly 20 years in the major leagues.
And for CC now, with what happened last inning at 32 pitches, he's got to have a couple of innings where he tries to minimize his pitches to keep Aaron Boone out of that bullpen early. Yankees have Detroit coming in for 4. So it's not the stiffest of oppositions for the Yankees coming up.
Big moments, though, anytime you play outside of those Red Sox series, because you have a chance to at least gain a little bit of ground before you really are forced to win those games if you're going to be a contender for the AL East. As Sabathia, who made his major league debut April 8th, 2001. It was at then Jacobs Field. His opponent was Chuck McElroy. 5 innings from McElroy, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Sabathia gave up 3 earned runs. Juan Gonzalez 2 for 4. Brooke Fordyce, former Sox legend, was the catcher for the Orioles that day. Cal Ripken Jr. was still in the lineup for Baltimore. The elder Delino DeShields.
Yeah, CC didn't exactly struggle that first year. 17-5, despite an ERA at 4.39 in 33 starts.
To first base for out number 2. How about you look behind you on your major league debut, right? And you're like, oh, I wonder how the defense is going to. Oh, it's Omar Vizquel and Robbie Alomar.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Throw some ground balls. You'll be fine, kid.
Pretty good.
Two down, Kevin Smith.
7 years in a row for CC. He was over 500, with a few of those years well over 500, before going 6-8 with the 2008 Indians. And that was the year where he was going to be a free agent. A lot of people felt maybe he was trying to do a little too much, but 6-8 with the Indians before 11-2 as he gets traded to the National League and the Brewers.
Torres at second. Completes a 1-2-3 inning all on the infield for CC Sabathia. Lopez coming back out.
You can't miss the best show in town. Baseball Night in Chicago, presented by Chick-fil-A. So join Scott Pasetnik, Brian Anderson, and Layla Rahimi as they break down the biggest stories surrounding the Sox and the Cubs. That's Baseball Night in Chicago tomorrow at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Home of the Authentic Fan. There's only one home of the Authentic Fan, and it's right here.
This is exactly where it happens to be. Not exactly in New York, but we will see one pretty soon when coming back.
Yeah, we've got a
wonderful city.
Wednesday home game coming up. WhiteSox.com for tickets if you'd like to check out the Red Sox or the Tigers or the Angels coming to Guaranteed Rate Field for the final long homestand of 2018. Smoke to right field fair. Greg Bird, who was in quite the slump, finds his way to second base with the Yankees' first hit tonight.
Fans give a nice round of applause. They realize that he's really struggled. He's one of the keys to this team. If he comes back hitting the ball the way he has at times in his past, he gives them a lot more balance than they have, especially the fact that they're going to get Gregorius back pretty soon. Give him a couple of left-handed bats if Bird can indeed sting the baseball.
That busted an 0 for 21 for Greg Bird. And here's Romine, former second-round pick of the Yankees. Reynaldo Lopez 6 up 6 down to open the game, plus a visit from Herm Schneider and Ricky Renteria. Breaking ball. There's the curveball showing its head. 0-2.
Well, in looking at the pitch types and the frequency in which he uses them, you can understand where the Yankees are missing breaking pitches, because each and every one of them going up there just sitting on the fastball. They realize most of the time you're going to get it.
Strike three.
Another
Slider
good
that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another good one.
It's 60% plus fastball. You couldn't blame him for going up there looking fastball.
Diving down and away. Good spin. Late movement. And no contact.
Nine-batter Torreyes takes ball one. So that first time the Yankees saw Lopez, he threw 98 pitches, 68 were fastballs. He didn't throw one curveball. He threw 20 sliders, 10 changeups, 68 fastballs.
I think he's probably going to have to make some sort of an adjustment. We've seen it this inning where he's made a bit of an adjustment. Let's see if that continues.
That's a strike on the slider. 1-1. Torreyes tripled in the opener, and his spot eventually had the game winner last night, but it was Walker occupying his spot. Right field, Avi back, and he's there to make the catch. Bird tags, and he hits third. 2 out, Bird to third. Hey, head to the ballpark. Dollar Hot Dog Wednesdays. Take advantage of this unbeatable deal. Wednesday, September 5th. Sox and the Tigers, 7:10 p.m. Brought to you by Securian Financial, who can help you make every moment count. Find out more at Securian.com. Sox will be home tomorrow to take on the Red Sox. It's a 4-game series with Boston. Rick Porcello, Lucas Giolito, your pitching matchup. Then Eovaldi and Kopech Friday. Eduardo Rodriguez, Carlos Rodon Saturday, and then Brian Johnson, James Shields, the 1:10 start on Sunday. Carlos Rodon and James Shields talking it over. They've seen the Yankees this series already. Gardner flinches and takes a called strike.
Both of the starting pitchers that you saw in the last shot do very well against the Yankees. Now, this is a team that normally saves by far their best baseball for right here in New York. 46-21 at home. And that is the second best record in baseball. Of course, they're chasing the team that has the best record in baseball at 47-18, the Boston Red Sox.
You know, when you hear things like that, you're like, oh, you know, it's too bad for the Yankees. They're in this division with this wonderful Boston team. And then you step back and you say, it's really too bad for Tampa Bay that they're in this division with both of those teams, because that's a possible playoff team that's getting squashed by two juggernauts.
Yep.
And the Rays are playing really good baseball right now, and there's not really a glimmer of light in sight.
Well, they're 70-62. Snell is having a magnificent year in their starting rotation. And everybody in the division gets to beat up on Baltimore at 39-94. Yikes, what a year that is.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Baltimore 39-94, just 52 out.
Season goes long enough.
Yeah.
They still
will be 102.
They still won't make it.
It has been a tough year for Baltimore, that's right. The Orioles, you know, they knew Manny Machado was going away. And it took a while till the All-Star break, and then they finally could move on from there. And now 3-2 for Gardner, who lined out in the first. Sox, by the way, are just a game back of Detroit for 3rd place in the AL Central, at least coming into today. But the Tigers fell to the Royals 9-2, so the Sox have a chance to be in a dead heat for 3rd in the Central. Right side of the infield, Davidson claims the final out of this 3rd inning. Sox lead 2-0 for Lopez. mortgage provider of the Chicago White Sox. Get started today at rate.com. 2-zip Sox with the lead on the 2-run double for Ryan Lamar as Matt Davidson efforts to hit his first home run of his career against the New York Yankees. Seven of his first 9 homers this year came against Kansas City, including the 3 on opening day. Hitting over 280 his last 12 games, Davidson. Fouls the ball off his foot, 1-2. Well, remember, Matt came up in 2016, played the 1 game against Minnesota, had the stress fracture in his foot, and lost the remainder of that year. Now 27 years old. He takes high.
That was the year that the Sox had an inordinate amount of guys that literally did not make it through the first game they played.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kevin Smith didn't even get to the first game he played.
Charlie Tilson.
Charlie. Strike 3 downstairs with a changeup for Sabathia. And here's your Sox math question for tonight. Hashtag Sox math. First correct answer wins a prize from the road. Number of games the Sox play in the next series against Boston, plus the total of the numbers in Yankee Stadium's main phone numbers area code.
Very specific on that main phone numbers.
Well, no, that's the possessive of main phone number.
Oh, I see. Well, you have to have the possessive.
Yeah.
You created it, you possess it.
9/10 of the law, Steve. Ball 1 to Moncada. 16 home runs for Yoan. What do you think ends up being his regular sitting place in terms of home runs for a year?
I think he's going to hit 30.
You do?
Yeah. I think he's going to hit 30 because he's going to start smoothing things out from the right side. Left side, he's already pretty well grooved. He's got a good idea of what he's doing as a left-handed hitter, but he just doesn't have that many at bats as a right-hand hitter comparatively, so there's a big disparity. 360 left-handed at bats, 116 right-handed at bats. That's a huge difference.
Four-pitch walk to Moncada. Second walk from Sabathia this evening. And Nicky Delmonico bats with a runner on.
CC got what he wanted last inning, a 1-2-3 third. He did it on 10 pitches. But he's at 63 overall with only 1 out here in the 4th.
His pitch count got rather high last time he saw the Sox, but that was in part because he struck 12 out.
Yeah.
Went 5 2/3 in that game to build on his strikeout total as a Yankee pitcher. And you look at the career strikeout leaders for the Yankees. CC Sabathia, number 4. Pettit, Whitey Ford, Ron Guidry, then CC.
All left-handed at the top.
He's gone basically the same sequence to Nicky to get him down 0-2 both times. Flip to center field, and it won't even get to Hicks.
Let's take a look at the high-speed action powered by Xfinity. And it is the double, the 2-run double by Lamar. Stanton cannot get it. And Nicky hustling home. 13 driven in for Ryan Lamar.
Ryan's been a nice guy to have. When you have an injury in the outfield, he's down in AAA, you bring him up and you know he's going to provide you a quality at bat.
Gives you that, plays a pretty solid defense. All things considered, the Sox got him from Minnesota as an insurance policy, and they've cashed in on that policy.
Two down, Moncada at first. Things have changed in the minor leagues. Typically, your major prospects now spend full seasons in AA rather than AAA, when even sometimes when they're just about ready to come to the major leagues. And guys like Ryan Lamar, insurance policies are stocking AAA rosters. Line to left field. Moncada was running. He may score on this and likely will. He's waved around. Ryan Lamar, another RBI, his second double, and it's 3-0 Sox.
It's Ryan Lamar night in the Bronx. That gives him 14 driven in, all 3 of them tonight, courtesy of a couple of doubles off the bat of Lamar. So Romaine, he was ready to come up throwing, but Romaine never caught the baseball. Didn't get to him. Yoan was able to pick up the baseball right away. Fortunately, it was in the left field corner, and then he scored easily.
Boy, he has simple speed, doesn't he? It does not look difficult for him.
No, he can really turn it on. When he gets his technique as a base stealer, he doesn't have that yet. When he gets the same technique that Tim Anderson has now, he's going to be something as far as stealing bases.
One-0 for Sanchez is upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes, and Yoan Moncada, who draws a walk. That's going to be part of his game. You can't expect him to be a 300 hitter. That's really not his style at this point. But the OPS combined on base plus slugging should vault.
No, he's going to be a pretty decent hitter. Just a question of starting to understand what pitchers are going to do with him. Starting to understand what he can do on days where maybe the stroke isn't quite as fluid. You know, hitters have the same feeling as pitchers. Pitchers have days that they're enchanted and everything works easily for them. You have other days they go out there and they can't find a rhythm. Hitters are the same way. Sometimes the stroke is really good. Sometimes they have to make some adjustments. And Yoan doesn't know quite yet what kind of adjustments he's going to have to make on a daily basis. He's just a very young player.
Lamar drives him in. Ryan with all 3 RBIs. He is now 4 for 7 career against CC Sabathia. And that's strike 3. Sanchez yanked down by the left-hander Sabathia. But Lamar adds to the Sox lead. It is 3-0 after 3.5. demand. Enter for your chance to win a White Sox-themed Mazda CX-3, courtesy of C.J. Wilson Mazda. Get your raffle tickets at the park or online at whitesox.com/car today. Giancarlo Stanton, a royal foul ball.
Well, I do believe that number 300 is around the corner, and I say that not because of the 2 balls he hit here, because of the one he hit last night to right field.
That was on a fastball away.
Yeah, I mean, we said the same thing with Abreu. One at bat might turn him around, and Stanton is in a big slump. But if he can hit the ball to right field against the shift, he's staying on the ball a little longer. And so right now he is staying on the ball a little longer. I think he's swinging it better than he has in the last, I don't know, 6-7 days. But he's a quality hitter, just falling into a slump.
Strike 3. Lopez wipes him away with a slider, and 1 gone in this 4th.
That probably was the best slider that Ronaldo has thrown tonight. Take a look at it. It really breaks late. It doesn't break a lot, but when it does break, it breaks straight down. And Stanton well out in front of it.
One down for Aaron Hicks. You know, I mentioned the White Sox Charities car raffle, and just announced today White Sox Charities is doing a pretty neat thing to help out the American League East, actually. Legendary Red Sox broadcaster Jerry Remy diagnosed again with cancer, and the Sox are holding an online charity auction in honor of Jerry Remy, who's on medical leave now, so we won't see him in that series in Chicago. You can bid at whitesox.com/auction, and a portion of the proceeds is going to the Jimmy Fund, the official charity of the Red Sox. The items involved in the auction are autographed items, memorabilia from guys who've played for both the Red Sox and the White Sox in their careers. So Carlton Fisk bobblehead and autographed bat, Chris Sale autographed jersey in baseball, AJ Pierzynski stuff, Jake Peavy stuff, Carl Everett an autographed baseball. So a really neat thing that the White Sox are doing to help out the Jimmy Fund and Jerry Remy.
Quite obviously, most of you have never had the opportunity or the pleasure to meet Jerry Remy, but he's a really wonderful man, and he's had this terrible battle with cancer. I'm not sure, what is it, 3 different times?
Three times already.
It's come back again, and
yeah,
you know, he's fought the good fight. Hopefully he continues to do that. He's a very positive guy. Talking to him when we were in Boston and talked to him about how he was feeling. He said he was feeling fine, although at that point we had known that it'd come back again.
Right.
So anyway, this is a great thing for White Sox Charities that they've done, and hopefully you folks who have been so generous in the past will continue to do that. There's some things you'd love to have. Certainly anything by Carlton Fisk or Chris Sale would be just great. AJ Pierzynski, just great. Autographed memorabilia, so bid, and it's going to go to a great cause.
That's whitesox.com/auction. Strike 3 called, bottom of the zone. Aaron Hicks punched out for the 2nd out of the 4th.
And this ball, it's a straight change, and did have a little piece of the lower part of the plate. Well caught by Kevin Smith. He brings it up just a touch. Easy to take that pitch and go down with the glove, in which case you usually don't get the call, and that's a big difference. Man at first or 2 outs, nobody on.
Still can work out of the wind. He'll face Andujar, who ropes it to third. Yolmer right in the breadbasket for out number 3. Be ready over there, Yolmer. 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Engel, either physically or mentally or both?
Probably a combination of both. I think his confidence, his work routine has been really good. I think he and Trick and Sparky have worked on him taking a different path to the baseball, which is starting to give him some benefits. He's always put together pretty good at bats, but now he's actually putting the bat on the ball a little bit more consistently. It'd be safe to say, and finding some holes. So we're very happy in how he's progressed over the last 2-3 weeks, whatever the case might be, and he's made a concerted effort of continuing to try to work and improve.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You hear Ricky Renteria talk about the path that Engel's taking to the ball, and we hear so much about launch angle, but launch angle is actually a result. The swing path is what creates a possible launch angle or your solid contact to the ball, as that ball is swatted left side and foul. It's really about swing path to the baseball that hitters are talking about in this fly ball revolution.
Well, there certainly is a whole lot of that, but there's a lot of guys that if they have that particular launch angle or swing path, it doesn't do them a whole lot of good because they're not going to be prolific home run hitters. And when a guy with a lot of speed hits a lot of fly balls, it's usually not a good thing. And that slider dipping down and in, with the call by Brian Knight. Adam is retired.
He's not seen Sabathia very well this evening.
Nope. And that happens. Everybody is different. Some guys see him well. Ryan Lamar has seen him awfully well with a couple of doubles and 2 at-bats. But the top of the lineup, Engel, Rondon, and Garcia. 0 for the game.
7 at-bats for them combined, including the 2 from Rondon, who makes his 4th start at shortstop this year. Tim Anderson out of the lineup with that ankle injury from last night, but it looks to be a short term out of the lineup for Tim. He's still able to smile. He and Daniel Polka raising trouble on the bench together. Jose, former Angel farmhand and former San Diego Padre, getting his largest opportunity in the majors with the Sox this year, up and down from AAA Charlotte. He's just 24 years old.
Ricky and Joe McEwing talking it over.
Line drive left field side. Rondon into the corner it goes, and that's a fair ball off the wall. Rondon, a 1-out double in the 5th.
He was able to wait back just long enough to take that breaking ball down and rope it into left field. See where Romine wants it? It's a slider. He wanted him to bounce it. He doesn't bounce it. It one-hops the wall. So the 3rd double of the night for the Sox. The first by anyone not named Lamar.
How about the Sox? In the 8 days without Jose Abreu, only 2 games with less than 4 runs.
A lot of guys picking it up. Adam Engel's been red hot. Yolmer's been getting on base. Some pretty good at bats by Kevin Smith. So yeah, you certainly miss Jose, but the guys are doing just a great job playing their best stretch of baseball this year is going on right now.
10 of the last 14 games have been wins for the Sox. So 10-4 your last 14. Avi bashes this ball center field. Hicks is over there to put it away.
What a play that was as Aaron Hicks sells out completely to dive and take one away from Avi. Avi crushed that ball, and only the spacious dimensions of Yankee Stadium kept it in the park. And here comes Hicks. What a play.
Boy, he covered a lot of ground coming over from right center.
Well, you get a pretty good idea how he was a #1 draft pick of the Minnesota Twins. I mean, Aaron Hicks had all kinds of ability, and it wasn't for lack of a chance, because Minnesota gave him every opportunity. He was the Buxton before there was a Buxton.
Yeah.
#1 draft pick, where they said, okay, you're going to be our center fielder and we'll give you every chance. He just never hit the ball consistently. Now he's doing everything.
First base side, Bird. That'll do it for the top of the 5th. Promise we'll have a promo for you in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0 Sox. Chuck Garfien as well. We got everything coming up. We look forward to Belton Bill and Scotty Pods as well, and we look forward to Reynaldo Lopez continued success against the Yankees this year, Steve.
He's been awfully good. Gave him 1 run in 7 innings when he saw him the first time, and tonight equally as good. He's held them to zippo. Held them to just 1 hit through 4 no runs. And what a job it's been for a guy that started out not throwing the fastball very well, but he's thrown it well now.
He's gone more to the off-speed stuff as well later in this game.
Yeah, I think that's been the adjustment that he probably talked about with Kevin Smith. Certainly Don Cooper was in the middle of that. He figured out the Yankees went up looking fastball all the way, and now he's doing a good job of fooling him with the off-speed stuff.
Got a note in the break from StatCast maven Mike Petriello. The average 4-seam fastball for Reynaldo Lopez in the first 4 innings each. So first inning 91.2 was his average fastball. Second inning 92.7. Third inning 94.7. Fourth inning 95.6.
It's back to where his average has been for the year. About 95.5.
High in the sky, right of home. Davidson has it go behind it. There's overrunning a ball, and there's overwalking a ball.
Yeah, he missed that one by a wide margin.
Yeah.
So another life for Walker as Matt comes in. He looked at Kevin Smith. He keeps looking at Kevin Smith, and by the time he was stopping looking at Kevin Smith, he had overrun it.
Well, hopefully it doesn't hurt. 3 outs to the Yankees.
Those usually do, but yeah, let's hope it doesn't.
There's always hope.
There is hope. Hope springs eternal.
Stephen Glass Half Full Stone. I'm Jason Benetti.
Very optimistic. Very optimistic.
2-2 to Walker. Yep.
Yep. It does come back to bite him.
That'll happen.
I know it.
This game will just when you think you're out of the woods in this lovely national pastime, this 9-man ballet as it is.
You just have to give him. I mean, look, the key to every game is giving him 27 outs. Any outs above that, especially with a good offensive team, and the Yankees are just that, you're playing with fire.
So Gleyber Torres and his sometimes inhuman power shows up next. Two balls, no strikes on Gleyber Torres.
I like that Kevin Smith is going out there because in Ronaldo's mind, he had Walker out. Then you got to make some more pitches to him. He gets a base hit. Now you start the inning off in a way you don't want to start it off. But for a young pitcher especially, they have a tendency to let things like that linger. Just keep thinking about it. Next thing you know, you're 2-0 on the next hitter. And now it compounds the problem. You not only have the guy at first, but you've fallen behind on a very powerful hitter.
Well,
Gleyber is strong.
And in this situation here, 2-0 fastball meeting at the mound suggests 2-0 fastball.
It'll be a fastball away. Let's see if he's on it, or if he can throw it in the zone successfully.
Throw coming to first.
That one almost got away.
Yankees got a leadoff double in the third. That was Greg Bird. He did not score. Romine struck out. Torres lined out. Gardner grounded out. 2-0 for Torres. Up the middle into center field. It was a 2-0 fastball, and it was through.
Let's see how long Don Cooper waits before he goes out there as Torres takes it right back up the middle. 2-0, 3-1 fastballs usually get hit pretty hard. That one no exception. But Ronaldo was trying to throw it away. He wanted an outside fastball, and that one was middle in.
Two on, nobody out for Bird, who had the lone hit coming into this inning. Ball one.
Yankees have had 3 shots with a runner in scoring position. They're 0 for 3 coming into this at bat.
I got 16 batters, 4 first pitch strikes for Lopez tonight.
That's not too good.
Change up. The Yankees have bruised the baseball tonight. There have been some rockets. Double play would be nice.
I've got 8 line drives so far.
Yeah, I was just counting the same thing. One. Breaking ball downstairs, 1-2. You know, the interesting thing is he's been behind in the count, but he's still flashed the secondary stuff, and it's looked maybe better in this start than it has in the last month.
Well, we saw the Yankees from Jump Street come out and really sitting on fastballs. Each and every pitch they were sitting on a fastball. A lot of teams talk about it. The Yankees were doing it tonight, and then it was up to Ronaldo to make the adjustment, and he has.
One, two. In the air, left of center. Ryan Lamar has out number 1. 2 on, 1 out. Romine coming up, and here is your winner of Sox Math tonight. It's Rusco 18. Number of games the Sox play in the next series is 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 8. 718 is the area code. 16. 4 plus 16 is 20, and Rusco 18 is your winner. Congratulations, you'll win a prize from the road when we get back home. So Romine, 2 on, 1 out. Checked his swing, couldn't hold it up. Another curveball. Remember, he didn't throw any of those in his first start against the Yankees. It was all slider for breaking pitches. Groundswell of "Let's Go Yankees" tries to start. But the rally may not be large enough to fan the flames just yet.
That was a straight change that he fouled back, so they have not been close to the secondary pitches. They've just been hurting fastballs.
So what do you throw on 1 and 2?
I throw him a hard breaking slider, and if you keep it low and away, you're going to strike him out. We'll see what Kevin Smith has in mind. He's going to go through a whole different set of signs, including touching areas, which will determine a different set of signs. We'll see what he's got in store.
He struck him out on a slider last time on the 3rd pitch of the sequence. A high fastball in his eyes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Walker at second, Torres at first. Breaking ball just a little bit high.
Call could have gone either way, but usually on a breaking ball that's up that high, you're not going to get that call.
Don Cooper liked it. He might be biased.
It's just a touch.
3 and 2 to Romine. 2 on, 1 out, 5th inning. Lopez. Ball 4. First walk for Reynaldo Lopez. Remember, all of this comes after a foul ball that could have been caught. It extended the at bat for Neil Walker. He eventually singled, then Torres singled, and after an out, the walk of Romine. Hey, Xfinity X1 customers, say "Show me the Chicago White Sox" into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Bases loaded, one gone for Ronald Torreyes.
Hit the ball hard last time, but couldn't get it over Avi's head. Torreyes has hit the ball well in this series, but as a smaller player, he's been hitting the ball in the air consistently, and hard for him to hit one out. He can do it if he pulls the ball.
Bases loaded, one out. Walker, Torres, and Romine are on. Lopez slings it in for a strike. Left-hander Gardner next. Right-hander Torreyes here. Ronald Torreyes, previously property of Cincinnati, the Cubs, the Astros, the Blue Jays, the Dodgers, the Angels, another time with the Yankees, and this the second time with the Yankees. That one breaks in for a strike, 1-2.
Took something off, and Torreyes could not pull the trigger.
'24-year-old Reynaldo Lopez seeking out number 2.
21 pitches this inning. This is the first inning he's gone 20 or above.
6 up, 6 down, the first 3 batters of the first and second inning. Then a 1-2-3 fourth. Fister foul. Big gap in left center for Torreyes. Ball and 2 strikes from Lopez. Here it comes. On the ground and through the left side. Walker scores. Torres held up. And the Yankees are on the board. It's 3-1. 2-strike hit for Torreyes.
This is 7th run batted in, but he came into this game hitting over 300. That's not going to go down any. It's a slider that didn't slide a great deal, and Torreyes was able to guide it through the left side. It's Phil Nevin, the third base coach, as he puts up the stop sign. Only one score.
Phil Nevin, former skipper in the minor leagues with the Detroit Tigers.
He's a #1 draft pick.
Now Gardner, bases loaded, still 1 out. The support rises in the Bronx for the home team, and Lopez spins over a curveball. So Reynaldo Lopez, who had not shown the curveball to the Yankees at all his first outing against him just a couple of weeks ago, very willing to sling it over for a strike. Fastball at 97.
That was the fastest one I can remember tonight, and threw it right in on the hands of Gardner, who could do absolutely nothing with it. The bases loaded career-wise, Gardner's hit .354. So he loves these situations.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 5th inning. Walker, Torres, all with singles in the inning. He struck him out.
Good straight change, and that time you have Gardner swinging at the motion as opposed to the baseball, because that was a good 6 inches off the outside corner and a huge strikeout. Five strikeouts. And a big man to get by now. Big man has hit 2 very deep, foul shots to left field.
He's got 299 career home runs. And Giancarlo Stanton threw that fastball. Runner coming home, throw to the plate is there. Kevin Smith, a sidewinder to Lopez, who put it down on Torres to end the inning.
This is a great break as it gets by. Kevin gets to it quickly. The throw is right there. And a nice pick by Lopez. What a play this is. Because you got to get to the plate quickly, and you have to go locate where the plate is, where the ball's going to be, and when is the runner going to get there. Everything worked out perfectly.
And by the way, you got to pick it on a hop.
Well, that's just part of the equation. We know pitchers are great athletes, so it's no problem picking on the hop. But the problem was keeping it in the glove after Torres got there about the same time the ball got there, and the tag was quite obviously there. So leaving Stanton standing there with the bases loaded is pretty good.
That's a huge play in so many ways.
It's a huge play is right.
You know, the other part of that is sometimes Reynaldo Lopez on the mound is so stoic he seems emotionless. There he gets the out, the big fist pump, the smile on his face. He is riled up.
They work a little bit on that play. Some teams work a little bit on that play in spring training. A lot of teams don't do a great deal with that play.
There's out number 1. Davidson flies out to Stanton.
So it becomes very difficult for a pitcher to work on that. And because there's so many things going on, you have to come in and charge at the angle that you believe the ball is coming from. If you don't do that, then that's a problem. You got to get there well before the base runner gets there, which you can do. But then, you know, in locating where the baseball is coming from, where the baseball is, where the base runner is, and then making sure you cover the plate, there's a lot going on in a very short period of time.
Lopez did it beautifully, and then you go and you look at the play by Kevin Smith. Got to play the ricochet, make a throw that's accurate.
The break was that it came out.
Yep.
He must have hit something that was very solid because it came out quickly. Normally it doesn't do that.
Moncada, center field, warning track, and Hicks makes the catch. Little midair dance from Aaron Hicks gets the job done.
That was just about 400 feet away from home plate. Yuan put a charge into it, took it a long way back, but Hicks was an outstanding center fielder, playing it perfectly. He hits it right back over his head. The most difficult play for an outfielder is one hit over his head. Then after spinning around a time or two, he's able to make the play. So he spins twice and then spins back the other way. Not the most artistic, but very effective.
Understudy for Swan Lake, Aaron Hicks. As there's strike one. Moncada's pasted a couple of balls tonight.
Yeah, he's going to show us more and more just how strong he is from both sides of the plate.
Sabathia's pitched Nicky Delmonico the first 2 pitches of each at bat, basically the same one.
It's worked real well. He's been 0-2 for the 3rd straight time.
That's why it's memorable.
Why go away from that? You don't really need a setup pitch. That's the one thing that I have a hard time with sometimes is pitchers want that setup pitch. Don't set him up. Go get him. He did.
Pretty good timing on your part. Not the result you're looking for, but 3-1 Sox.
Is upon us, and Chicago's best high school football show is back for another season. Catch the return of High School Lights, presented by Wintrust, Friday at 11 on NBC Sports Chicago, or stream it on the NBC Sports app.
It's coming up.
It is coming up. Well, prep season's upon us.
Yeah,
it says right here.
Yeah, well, it's actually a synonym. Upon us, coming up.
No antonym?
No. She's in Oz. Stanton. You look at this situation, by the way. Would have been bases loaded, Stanton up, the crowd rising as one with 299 homers to his name. Instead, it's bases clear and a chopper foul of third.
That's a terrific 2-0 pitch to a dangerous hitter. Soft breaking ball, just barely out of the zone. The hitter can do nothing with it. It's tantalizing, so he swings, but yields that little foul ball. Just a terrific pitch. A curveball, Stanton looking for anything else. he hits the ball hard.
Yeah, you don't want to be the ball boy over there.
No.
It's not fun.
Oh well, he did the right thing though. Live to fight another day.
Yeah, flee. Hey, Ronaldo Lopez this year, 26 starts. This is his 27th start for the Sox this season. Only twice has he thrown fewer than 50% fastball. Only twice, and he's on his way there tonight against the Yankees.
Yep.
35 out of the first 79 were fastballs. He misses downstairs, ball 4, but no harm done as Stanton takes a walk. No harm yet. Aaron Hicks has played a nice center field this evening. He's 0 for 2 with the bat. Ground out to short and a strikeout looking. Why this game is important for the Yankees: they're hoping to pick up a game on the Red Sox, who are trailing, but only for now. Everything is only for now. 5-4 Miami, bottom 7 at Fenway Park. The Red Sox have runners at the corners at last check.
They also have nobody out, and I like their chances against that Miami bullpen.
I think their chances against anybody's bullpen. That lineup's scary. Betts, Benintendi, Pierce, Martinez, Bogarts. The top 5 we'll likely see at Guaranteed Rate Field tomorrow. You know, the final 12 or so outs, that's where we are right now. They just feel a little bit more strenuous here in New York.
Well, those guys wearing pinstripes have a lot to do with it, because there's a lot of thunder in this lineup. We saw that yesterday. That game seemingly was close to be put away, and then it just got away.
Blue, short right side. Angle is there. Adams on the case again, flying in from center, this time coming forward.
Just a great play by Engel, and you got to credit Giancarlo Stanton with just a wonderful base running play, because he was hustling back to first when he saw that Engel was going to make this catch, and it was doubtful for a while. You see Stanton right there. As soon as he saw that Engel was going to make the catch, he started hustling back to the bag. That's good anticipation. A great play by Engel, and we're getting used to these. You got some defense behind you, son. There it is again.
Lopez, that kid in the candy store look that he gets when somebody makes a great defensive play behind him is awesome. That is a dart foul of third. That ball boy's going to quit.
Well, he's got a lot of right-handed thunder in this lineup. There's going to be a little bit more, by the way, because Sanchez has hit home runs in back-to-back games in his rehab. So Gary Sanchez not that long away. They think it'll be ready for Oakland when they go on that 9-game road trip, along with Gregorius. And Phil Nevin has decided that he's going to get back there, not on top of the ball boy, but close enough. He don't want any part of the coach's box.
That coach's box is going to be at the pretzel stand pretty soon. Well,
they got some right-hand hitters that can make you want to wear the catcher's gear in the third base coach's box.
Two strikes on Andujar. Stanton at first. In the air, right-hand side. Davidson for out number 2.
One of the things that's unique about this particular Yankee team is that, unlike some of the Yankee teams in the past that was tailored exclusively to this ballpark, they always had a load of left-hand pull hitters in their lineup. That's how the team was made. You have to assemble your baseball team to take advantage of your home park. Yankees were terrific at it. This particular incarnation of Yankee baseball has a lot of right-handed bangers. That's the first time, and I can remember, a Yankee team that most of the power is right-handed.
Yep.
I mean, Bird was supposed to give him balance. He hasn't hit very much. Gregorius does give him some balance, but he's been out. He'll come back. Gardner is not a guy that's going to hit a lot of home runs for you, although he's got 11, but he's going to be in the leadoff position, so that's different.
Close pitch, ball 1 to Walker.
That's why the Yankees, year after year, are close to the top at hitting home runs. This is a home run ballpark. So we all know that speed and defense usually wins championships along with pitching, because speed, defense, and pitching kind of go hand in hand. But for the Yankees in this park, they got to build their team with power, and they lead all of baseball in home runs.
Well, and you look at the percentages now in baseball. If you hit a 3-run homer, you're much more likely to win than lose. So if you've got it, you might as well use it. Lamar back in left, testing the dimensions for out number 3. Stanton stranded. Lopez through 6, just 1 allowed. Your experience to catch every moment this season. Get White Sox home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
We get a new pitcher in the ball game. Sabathia gone. Chad Green coming on, and he's put together a whale of a season at 7-2, ERA 263, on for the 53rd time. 73 strikeouts and 61 2/3. He's been very good with great control, only 13 walks. He's held down the right-handers to the tune of 221.
Well, we told you yesterday that Lance Lynn is the fastball king of Major League Baseball. He throws more fastballs than anybody else, and there might be some jealousy behind the throne because Chad Green out of the bullpen is second place in Major League Baseball in most fastballs thrown. Highest percentage. He's 86.5% fastball, and that's why.
When you can get up there 96, 97, you feel pretty good about the heater.
Ryan Lamar again the opposite way, deep to right field, gone! How do you follow up 2 doubles? The answer's a home run.
This is the second home run this year. His 4th run batted in tonight. And this has become the Ryan LaMarre show. Good catches in left field and explosive at bats. 2 doubles. And our Ford home run replay. A high fastball. Told you it doesn't take much to get it out of here in right center field. And he's able to do just that.
So this is his first career game, LaMarre, with 3 extra base hits. Heck, it's his 3rd game ever with 3 hits at all. Just had his first home run near his hometown in Detroit. Now his 2nd home run comes at Yankee Stadium. And he's got the jewelry to show it off.
Well, the great part about this is that he's going to remember this the rest of his life, and it came on the big stage here at Yankee Stadium.
How about the opposite field thunder for Ryan LaMarre today?
That is pretty amazing.
Again, if you missed it, a couple of weeks ago in Detroit, Ryan LaMarre, who hits his first career home run, he's 29 years old, but he hasn't had that many at bats in the major leagues. So he comes into the dugout and he basically had to explain to a couple guys that that was his first home run. They assumed he had one before. He didn't. He got the ball, and this time he sends it out of Yankee Stadium. It's been 11 years. 11 years since a Sox player has had 3 extra base hits at Yankee Stadium.
Jermaine Dye was the man who accomplished it last time, who you can understand because he was a power hitter. He was a home run hitter.
That's right. It wasn't even at this Yankee Stadium. There's a different iteration of Yankee Stadium. Sox, for the first time ever, have 3 extra base hits from one player in this ballpark. And the follow-up is a Sanchez walk here in the 7th inning. So 4-1 Sox. Chad Green greeted angrily by LaMarre. And the Yankees, a team that relies heavily on the home run, have given the run that they just got in the 5th inning back on the LaMarre homer. Yolmer Sanchez, 17 straight games on base at least once. He's walked 11 times in his last 9 games. That was after quite the walk drought for him. Yolmer's on the move. Throw to second is waiting for him. And a collision. Out number 1. We'll check and see.
It looks like Torres is hurt. Looked like he might have been spiked. Or Yolmer just got a piece of the wrist. Yolmer went in hard. It was a good tag and a very good throw by Romine. Yolmer got a good piece of that. It looks like the wrist.
Looked like not only did he kick it, he bent it back. Yeah, Yolmer got a good chunk.
Yeah, Gleyber didn't have a chance to just put the glove down and then bring it back up because that ball and Yolmer got to the same spot at approximately the same time. So he appears to be nicked a bit. Yolmer got him with the spikes and all his momentum.
Yeah, it was just wherever the glove was going to be at that point.
That's it. I mean, he would have loved to have gone down with the quick tag and brought it back up. He just didn't have the time.
It was straight on through for Sanchez, riding the glove out of the picture. He's going to stay in. Last thing the Yankees want to be is down to their third shortstop. Not a whole lot of major league teams have a third shortstop that they can trot out there and feel great about. A little maintenance. The heavily inked arm of the young Gleyber Torres.
Looked like the knuckle area is starting to swell now.
Engel fouls it away. 0-2. And speaking of spikes, not the segue Torres was interested in, but Adam Engel, right after that play in center field, you remember last night he went down. You pointed out he watched the ball the whole way. He changed spikes right after that. He was wearing spikes that are typically for longer grass. There's shorter grass here, and he felt like that he bit the dust in part because of the spikes he was wearing.
Well, then the fact that you talked about the fact that the soccer team plays here, and so you got some spots in that outfield that are a lot softer than other spots. He happened to hit one.
Two and two for Engel, who was 0 for 3 against Sabathia. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball. To third, Walker. White Sox fans celebrate Hispanic Heritage Night Friday, September 7th, presented by Cerveza Modelo. There's Latin music and dancing, special activities, an on-field parade, and a post-game fireworks show. Modelo Especial. Good guys wear black and choose gold. Tickets start as low as $10. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/NHH. Sox will be back home for a long homestand to see the Red Sox, then the Tigers, and then the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. In that AL West today, the Astros got through a rough patch from Brad Peacock. He had a bunch of walks and then hit a batter to bring in the tying run, but eventually Houston had a walk-off homer from Tyler White to win in 9-5-4 and move that divisional lead to 2.5 in just a mammoth game.
It was a big series in Houston, and the Astros did what they had to do. They won the series.
That was the 81st walk-off home run this year in Major League Baseball. It's a new record, and we are not through August yet. Sox contributed unwittingly to one of those last night from Neil Walker.
Unfortunately.
Two and two, Green to Rondon. Well, the Red Sox still aren't done in the 7th. They lead 10-5. That's a 7-run 7th inning. Rondon, right field. Stanton is over there for out number 3. Ryan Lamar, second home run in his career, goes out and right at Yankee Stadium. It's 4-1 Sox. By T-Mobile, and obviously we start with Garcia in right with a beautiful grab. The Sox lead the league in home run robberies now. That's actually true. Aaron Hicks, though, flashing some glove.
There's been some outstanding defense all over the diamond tonight. And this guy's making a habit of this. Edemango came on. A diving, sliding grab. What a play that was.
I don't know about you. My opinion is there's nothing more fun to watch in baseball than tremendous defense.
Well, if you've got very good defense, you're going to be just about in every game, because many times it's defense that helps take you out of a lot of games. And we talked about it in this one. You give a good team, and the Yankees are that, more than the requisite 3 outs in an inning. You wind up giving up one. Could have been more, except for the one play that probably turned the game around, and that was the one that Kevin Smith made on the ball that got away.
It was the rally that got away for the Yankees as well. You got bases loaded, 2 out. You can't really fault Torres for marching home on that play.
When the ball gets by the catchers that far and actually hits the back wall, you just expect that you're going to score easily, and that wasn't the case.
Reynaldo Lopez still well short of 100 pitches here into the 7th inning. Last 7-inning start for Lopez was against these Yankees 22 days ago. Check swing. No go. The Red Sox have scored 11 runs in the 7th inning, so
well, they were down 5-3. Things have changed a bit.
Oh, that was an interesting strike 3. Torres started his run to first. Strike 2, I should say. Just anticipating. 3-2. Line to left field and down. Gleyber Torres, a leadoff single. So we were talking about great defense. Let's take a trip around Major League Baseball and check in with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Kenley Jansen, behind the bat to start the double play. Nifty. Dodgers a game back of Arizona and Colorado entering play tonight.
And that was a guy in Kenley Jansen used to be a catcher.
Well, you can see how.
Sox pen up and going.
Greg Bird, the batter. Well, the Sox wanted innings tonight out of Lopez to help out the bullpen with no off day on the horizon until next Thursday. Xavier Cedeno, the Sox stayed away from last night, is up and throwing. One strike on Bird. Greg Bird, a draftee out of high school in 2011 out of the great state of Colorado. And Mookie Betts in the same draft 7 years ago. Mookie heavily involved in that Red Sox comeback tonight. He's 3 for 4. He's driven in 3. He scored 3.
Mookie is quite a player. Haven't found much of anything that he can't do yet.
Yeah, the Red Sox had 11 runs with 1 out in that inning, and Benintendi just grounded into a double play to end it. You look at an 11-run inning and you say, has some of that had to have happened with 2 outs, and that was not true. So that's the next opponent for the Sox, and a good reason to conserve the bullpen as much as you can.
Yeah, let's hope they score themselves out tonight. 14-5 in this one with 2 innings to go. Well, probably for them only 1.
That's a sunny theory you've got there. Hopefully they score
themselves out.
2-2. And that did hit the dirt. So Kevin tried to sell it to Brian Knight. It clipped the dirt. You saw it kick up. Problem with dirt is when something hits it, it goes flying through the air.
Don Cooper thinks that he should be out. However, that one clearly hit the dirt, and that was that. Nice try, though.
Pitch number 100 on 2-2 to Bird. Left side and foul. Yankees have tortured the American League Central this year at 20-6 and trying to avoid losing a home series to the Sox in a season for the first time since '05. We like that year. 2-2. That's outside.
Well, even at 101 pitches, regardless of the resolution of this one, you've got the 2 right-handers coming up in Romine and Torreyes. So it will be very tempting to leave in Ronaldo to see if he can get a little deeper into the outs this inning.
Torres doesn't run. That pitch is clobbered foul. It'll be a 9th pitch in the sequence and a new bat for Greg Bird. Hey, enjoy your summer nights at the park. Bleachers and Brews. Get 1 bleacher seat and 2 beers for just $22 to select upcoming games. You got to be 21 and over with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews, presented by Budweiser. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. Mickey Renteria mulling over his options on the bench. The Yankees got to his bullpen last night for a late home run from Neil Walker to win the game. 3-2. Golf to left center field. Angle for round number 1. Good job by Lopez to come back and take care of Bird.
Now you've got the guy that if you can coerce him to hit the ball on the ground, it's a terrific double play target. Romine has grounded into 8 of them this year and 217 at bats.
He hits a lot of ground balls as Kevin's mask was askew. A lot of ground balls for Romine. Nearly half of the balls he puts in play are ground balls.
That would bode well for this situation. And judging by that, Ronaldo better get ready to field one. 34% of the time he goes back up the middle.
He's in the red cone. Never want to be in the red cone. 0-1 to Romine. A little concerning that 30% on the right side, the opposite way ground ball for Romine. What with Davidson holding on Torres. Oh, 2 upstairs with a fastball to cut him down.
Some high heat. And Ronaldo had a whole lot on that one. He just fired it by Romine. Now you wend your way by Torres and most likely leave it to the pen as Ronaldo is at the 106 pitch mark.
First one off the plate outside, breaking ball. For Reynaldo Lopez, that was just his 3rd swinging strike on a fastball tonight that he got from Romine. Center field, Adam Engel, easy does it for round number 3, and Lopez works his way through 7 against the Yankees for the 2nd time this year.
The Boston Red Sox. Coverage begins at 7. You can stream the game on the NBC Sports app.
Hey, let's take a look at the Verizon projected starters for tomorrow against the Red Sox. Rick Porcello of 418, Lucas Giolito 585 and dropping. He's been very good last couple of starts.
He has been. It's nice to see that ERA in the 5s, especially with where he came down from. But lately, thrown it real well. And hopefully more of the same against one of the tougher offensive clubs around as we take a look at A.J. Cole, who comes into the ball game for the Yankees. We saw him in this series. It was in the first game. It was an inning. He gave up 2 runs on just 1 hit. But that 1 hit was very costly to him.
It was a leadoff single for Adam Engel that eventually led to a 2-run inning. There was an error and a wild pitch and a stolen base and all sorts of shenanigans.
That's where Tim helped put the game away with his speed. Tim Anderson running wild on the base paths.
Ball and a strike for Garcia, who's 0 for 3 in the game, 2 for 13 in the series. High through the night sky and foul.
Tommy Canley is throwing in the Yankee pen in case Cole has some problems.
Strike 3. 1 gone. Reynaldo Lopez. Now 14 innings against the Yankees this year, and he has been awesome.
Well, he also really appreciates what his team did behind him. There was some great defense tonight, and he waited in front of the dugout to give a high five to each and every one of his defenders coming off the field, which is a really classy thing to do for a young pitcher. And then he descends in the pen. James Shields, Don Cooper. Don Cooper realizes that he had a big night tonight. Did Reynaldo Lopez, because the stuff wasn't great when he started this game.
Oh, he was behind in the count routinely the first couple innings of this game. And sometimes with a young pitcher, you know, you'll see him go away from the secondary stuff. He starts to throw fastballs in the zone and get pounded, and he did the very opposite.
Well, he did what he had to do because he had a team quite clearly going up with a game plan. They had faced him a fairly short time ago. They knew that it was mostly fastballs. They tried to jump on each and every one of the fastballs until he went to the straight change, the slider, and more curveballs than we've seen him throw in a while. That turned everything around and really put the Yankees offensively on defense.
Yeah.
They were not near as aggressive. They couldn't be because he was throwing so many off-speed pitches. And all things considered, we saw some of the maturation process for Reynaldo Lopez tonight. Beginning of the season with this same stuff, he'd have gotten taken out of this game early. But he's a different pitcher these days.
But credit as well to Kevin Smith for calling a pretty strong game, don't you think?
Kevin's done a nice job behind the plate, and he made the play. I mean, the ball got away from him, and then he jumped on the carom off the wall and made the play at the plate that turned the game around. If that play is not made, it is a completely different game.
That could be a disaster.
Well, it's 3-2 with runners at second and third, and Stanton coming up. And if you decide to pitch around Stanton, you got Hicks behind him, who hit the big 2-run homer last night.
Then maybe you're in the bullpen earlier.
I mean,
and
it's a completely different game if Kevin Smith does not make that play. And not only Kevin, but Reynaldo Lopez made a great play because it was an outstanding pick and tag in the same motion. He had a full night tonight. This was a very good night for him.
3-1 to Matt. Checked his swing and he went. That's 3-2. As Reynaldo Lopez against the Yankees. 7 innings each time, 2 combined earned runs, strikeout to walk the same.
Pretty amazing.
On 3-2. We struck him out. 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Cole. Bottom 8, Sox by 3. at every game, and the Sox have taken basically every punch from the Yankees and forced the Yankees to counterpunch quite a bit.
Well, you look at Xavier Cedeno, who comes into this ball game, and you're right, because number one, the Sox have been playing really good baseball, and this was for them a definitive series because it was a very strong ball club in their home park in the middle of their push to postseason. So the Yankees were bearing down each and every play. Sox came in, not a lot of pressure on them, obviously, but they have outplayed the Yankees in just about each and every category you care to evaluate it. They've outpitched them. They've outdefended them by a long margin.
Outrun them on the bases.
Well, very much so. But the Yankees aren't a running team. But you're right, they have. And it's turned around some games. And as well as just hitting the baseball, Sox have consistently hit the baseball pretty well.
Cedeno to Gardner here in the 8th, and a breaking ball strike pushes the count in Xavier's favor after Gardner has gone 0 for 3 in the game. He's 1 for 8 in the series. That one got the glove, and then some of Brian Knight as well. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gardner. 6 games in a row now, Sox starting pitching. 2 runs or fewer allowed.
Going to give you some sort of an idea about what this starting rotation is going to look like.
Yep. The formative stages. You add Carlos Rodon halfway through the season, and it cannot be overstated how important he's been to this team playing better baseball.
He was an addition to the rotation. Michael Kopech has been an addition to the rotation. And slowly, things are starting to come together. You're starting to see the light at the end of the rebuilding tunnel.
Sanchez at third, and 1 gone. And that's not to say there won't be bumps in the road, but you're seeing the pieces come together. It's like that moment when you're doing a jigsaw puzzle and you're not close to done, right? But you have the whole outline, the whole perimeter, and the shape in the left corner starts to form. And you're like, oh, this now goes here, and you just want to do more and more and more of it until it's over.
Yeah, I start the other way. I completely have it assembled.
Yeah.
And then I take pieces away until I get to the point where I know I can complete it, and then I put the pieces back and say, hey, I'm done. It looks really good.
Yeah, that's not a jigsaw puzzle. That's just defacing art. There's a strike. There's a reason you're not allowed in certain museums, I think, is what we just learned. Oh, and 1 to Stanton from Cedeno. Third base, Sanchez holds the line. Yes, sir. 2 gone.
Did you happen to see what Stanton did when Yolmer caught that ball? Stanton took a step out of the batter's box and took his left hand and like swiped it at Yolmer, going, what are you doing? Let's watch it. Watch it. He sees him catch it and then go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You caught that ball? Stanton hit it about 190 miles an hour, and Yolmer was right there to make the play. Little frustration on the part of the big man, but he got robbed. That was highway robbery. That's a 2-base hit normally.
You know what goes along with that here in New York? Forget about it.
That was great.
Or some other word.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe the thought bubble. That was awesome. Sanchez. And that's another sign that Stanton is just kind of in his own head a little bit.
You're going to read in the next couple of games. I thought you'd read it tonight. He hit the ball hard enough, but hit it foul most of the time. But you're going to read where he hit his 300th home run, because he's swinging it really well right now.
And he's going to say, oh, finally, the load's lifted off my mind. But this is where you start to like curse the game of baseball in your own mind. Like, why do I play this game? It's so frustrating.
You have your handy dandy little lighted box there. What was the exit velocity of that 1-hop shot? We'll get back to that.
We'll get it for you going to break. When we come back, we'll get you an exit velocity. Yolmer Sanchez, unreal. Quick trigger reaction. Stanton Wave it off. Get out of here. What are you doing to me? What's wrong with you? Uber makes a donation to Chicago White Sox charities. Uber, the official rideshare provider of the Chicago White Sox and proud supporter of Chicago White Sox charities. Use Uber code GOSOX18 for $15 off your first Uber ride.
We get a new pitcher in the ball game, and it is Tommy Kahnle. On for the 16th time. He was hurt a good portion of this year. 1-0 ERA and even 6. But 18 strikeouts in 15 innings is a very good straight change to go with a fastball that's lost a couple of miles an hour. It's still fairly effective.
For a while there, he was Tommy Dangerously, and now he is not as dangerously. Yoan Moncada takes a strike at 94 on the outside corner. Watching the evolution last year of Tommy Kahnle, from guy who couldn't make it in the major leagues to change-up specialist, fastball, strike three guy, was impressive, and another one of the reclamation projects of Don Cooper.
And down the road, for some of our viewers who are looking at the minor league system, Blake Rutherford is the one guy that the Sox acquired. They acquired a few more in that deal, but Blake Rutherford's a big one that came out of the Yankee organization in that deal. Kahnle coming here, Robertson coming here, Frazier coming here, and Blake Rutherford, one of the shining stars of the Yankee system, becoming one of the shining stars in the White Sox system.
Strike three upstairs, one gone in the ninth. You asked, by the way, the exit velocity on that Stanton ball that Sanchez had the highway robbery on. That was 110.5 miles an hour.
Well, you've gone through in the past, you've gone through the batting average on balls hit. At 110, I assume that guys are hitting over 700.
I think it actually is even higher than that. Yeah, it's 715, the batting average on balls hit 110 miles an hour. And I mean, he's the league leader by far. That was like his 31st ball this year, hit 110 or higher.
It's really amazing how hard he does hit the baseball, but hadn't had a whole lot to show for it in this 3-game series. Just one opposite field single, yet he hit the ball and was hitting it progressively harder. I think from facing Stanton's standpoint, it'd be nice to leave town before he really starts to heat it up, because it's going to come pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm good with seeing him April 12th through the 14th next year in the 2019 schedule. We're right back here pretty much. One of the first series of next year is here at Yankee Stadium.
That'll be nice. A little coolness in the air. It'll be crisp. It'll be, I mean, really crisp. Like 35 degrees is usually pretty crisp.
Yeah, it'll be windows closed, crisp.
Not me. I want to be outside.
Oh, don't even start with me.
I want the feel for the game.
You had two choices there. Let that pass and talk about something else, or take it right on the chin, buddy.
No, I'm that kind of guy. I mean, the feel of the crowd is the most important thing for me. And so that's why I always defer when it comes to closing the windows, even in the coldest of temperatures.
Yes. 1-2. It's fouled away.
See, that is the advantage to having a terrible memory. You can't remember the early season when it was cold.
Yeah. The thing is, we have footage of these things.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. We do television. Sorry.
Yeah. Sometimes we do forget. Ball and 2 strikes on Delmonico. Cool series for Nicky. Has his family here. His mom was in town. His dad was in town. Grandparents as well. And 1-2, Canely to Delmonico. That's up and out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yankees in the home ninth will have Andujar, Walker, and Torres. Struck him out.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS, and it is Ryan Lamar. Some opposite field thunder. Second home run of the year. 4th run batted in of the night. 3 for 3, 3 extra base hits, topped off by that one. What a night for Ryan Lamar. He is the offense.
Third 3-hit game of his career. Can he have his first 4-hit game? Ball 1. Don't forget, by the way, tomorrow, free t-shirt Thursday, the Yolmer Sanchez Keep It Fun shirt can be yours. You head to the ballpark tomorrow for Police and Fire Night. Sox and Sox. Boston's in town. Again, this would be the first, and I know there are 3 outs to get, but it would be the first series win for the Sox in New York for the season series since 2005. Right field, Stanton grabs out number 3. Canely a 1-2-3-9. Sox have it saved again. It's 4-1.
Bases loaded. It gets by Kevin Smith. He gets there quickly. One hops to throw. Picked clean by Ronaldo Lopez, and the tag on Torres, and it's out of the inning, leaving Stanton standing there, which is a good place for him to be with the bases loaded. And what a play it was, and it helped turn everything around.
That inning was shaping up to be tragedy.
Yeah, it was not pretty good, but a great way to get out of it. And we've got Jace Fry coming in the ball game to try to nail it down.
It's hard to believe he actually opened the year in AAA.
3.80 ERA on for the 49th time, so he's been a busy man. 3 of 4 in save opportunities. Here's a chance to make it 4 of 5.
Last time Jace Fry gave up an earned run was against the Yankees 22 days ago.
This young man has stardom written all over him. He is astonishingly powerful, learning how to play a new position. They brought down A-Rod for a game and watched him play and worked with him a bit in spring training, trying to get him used to third base. They slowed down his footwork so much to teach him how to get the proper footwork at third after being a shortstop all these years that he has a hard time now speeding it back up on plays where he has to do it quickly. And we saw it twice in the opener of this series.
Right field side, Avi charging, and he's not going to get there. A hot air balloon to right field for Andujar, and the leadoff man is on for the Yankees.
Sometimes there's just not much you can do. This is a pretty good pitch. He doesn't get a whole lot of it, but he couldn't have thrown it out there in a better spot. Avi can't get to it. No chance at all for either Moncada or Davidson. So leadoff man aboard.
It's Neil Walker, who hit the game-winning home run last night, but is significantly sapped of power from the right-hand side.
9 home runs, 8 have come as a lefty. 38 driven in, 33 have come as a lefty.
First pitch, breaking ball for strike 1. With the win, the Sox would have 5 consecutive road series victories. Was there, he didn't get the call. No advancement from Andujar, and his run doesn't matter, but a double play possibility still exists.
In order to get to second base, you got to take off right when this one gets away. When he doesn't take off right there, you're risking getting thrown out in a situation where 3 runs down as the leadoff hitter, you cannot get thrown out at second.
2-1 to Walker. Jace Fry gets a swing and a miss. Changeup, 2-2. The Red Sox have won already tonight. That was against the Marlins. 14-6 the final score. So Boston's lead in the division is 7. Yankees in danger of falling 7.5 back. 2-2. Sox, on the other hand, with a win, would be in a tie for third with Detroit in the Central. To third, Sanchez. Second base gets 1, and that's all.
Very optimistic of Yuan to get that throw off, but very little chance, even though Walker's not a burner going up the line. It was such a slowly hit ball. It's almost inconceivable you turn a pair here, but Yuan was trying. He got rid of it very quickly. He's done a much better job of that pivot throw from second base, from either the shortstop or third baseman. He gets rid of it very quickly.
Oh, 1 is there, a strike. 0-2. Well, the Sox have done, for the most part in this series, a nice job of not building the rallies for the Yankees. There were 2 walks in a row in the 7th the other night by Carlos Rodon, but other than that, the walks have been minimal. Fry throwing strikes. He guns down Torres, 2 away.
Well, here's usually the case with the Yankees, and they're a very strong baseball team. However, when they don't hit the ball out of the ballpark, it's tough for them to create a whole lot of runs. And if you don't walk them and you put the pressure on them to produce some offense without home runs, they're going to come in second a lot.
Yep.
And so that's what we've seen in this ball game. They have failed to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Consequently, they're down in this one 4-1. If they don't hit the ball out of the ballpark last night, they don't win at all because all their runs came on home runs. So we see Voit as the potential out number 27.
(4-1) Sox. Luke Voit, who had a big home run a couple of days ago in Baltimore, still has the tying run a batter away from him, and there's a strike. Carlos Rodon through 7. Tim Anderson, a big first 2 games before sitting out today. Jace Fry in search of his 4th career save in this, his 60th major league game. One and 2.
Well, he's rushing it up there at 95. That's a pretty crisp fastball, especially when you have a hook like he has and can cut it inside as he can on occasion.
And this is his 2nd night in a row going.
Wants another high fastball, does Kevin Smith.
1 and 2. Voit lays off. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone, 9th inning. Two. Check swing, ball low. 3 and 2. Let him hit it here, right?
Just throw it down the middle. He can hit it 800 feet. It's still going to be a 1-run lead. Last thing you want to do is walk him and bring the tying run to the plate.
Jason 3 and 2. Takes care of him with a breaking ball down the middle. Oh, he locked him up, and the Sox win the series in New York.
A lot of confidence in that breaking ball because he went to it at 3-1, and if he doesn't get him, he's going to have to face the tying run. First series win at the new Yankee Stadium. The Sox have been playing very good baseball, and we saw it highlighted in this series. This